What's up, fight fans? Welcome to Mr. Mustache MMA News. Today, I want to discuss last Saturday's co-main event between Bo Nickal and Reinier de Ridder. But before we get into it, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to continue getting more MMA content by yours truly and help the channel grow. All right, guys, getting right into it. Bo's O did go. Reinier de Ridder got the victory. But you know what? I'm a little upset that the controversy of the critics has overshadowed the victory of RDR here. Everybody, oh, well, fraud check. Bo Nickal isn't as good as everybody said, this and that. Listen, man, Bo is a highly inexperienced guy in the MMA world. I think he was a bit of a victim of his own success. He came in with being a massive training partner. Everybody knew kind of who he was by the time he made his pro debut. And first 2-3 fights lit motherfuckers up. And he was just kind of a victim of his own success, and the way he talked about it didn't help either. He put himself in that situation, tested himself, had the fight with Paul Craig where it didn't look great, but at the end of the day, he got his hand raised. So that means you push him forward. And I would have liked to have seen him fight, but then RDR was this guy who kind of came from 1FC and this double weight class champ, but a lot of people were writing him off, even with his 2 victories over Kevin Holland and Gerald Meerschaert, right? So I feel like the whole pedigree of Bo and the expectations of him have kind of overshadowed the whole result of this fight. RDR looked sensational. He looked good, had a great game plan. Those knees, his body work was fucking phenomenal. He was working to the body so early against Bo. Right away he was throwing knees to the body. I overheard people talking about, just one knee and he gave up. No fucking way, dude. Like, you take a knee at 10% of what RDR has to your liver and you talk to me about it. So Bo, I think, needed that loss. And in MMA, it's the type of sport where you can lose. You don't have to have that boxing 25-0 to get to that title. You don't need that here, right? So I think that this L is going to be good for Bo Nickal. I think it's going to be his ability to grow, kind of humble a little bit, and maybe be more accepting to tightening up his game and working in other avenues. But nonetheless, I think it was good for him. And I want to see what he's going to do moving forward. But I think right now, Bo Nickal, we have like a B- version of like Chris Weidman. And I think that if we can get him to work with what he does best a little bit more and mixing the martial of the arts, right? I think if we can get him to just mix it up and combine it a little smoother, it was a lot like the early days of Aaron Pico. I think that if he can just kind of, it's you, because you can see he's striking. Okay, well, now he's grappling. Now he's going to go for the takedown. He's not, you don't really, see the, what's the word I want to use? It's not unexpected, but he's just not able to chain everything together so smoothly to where it's not like so unpredictable, right? And as for RDR, right? This fucking guy, 3 in a row now. Now he's going to be, former 2-division weight class champion over at 1FC. Now he's, can he be a victim of his own success? Now you put him up against the top guys. He called out Sean Strickland. I think Sean and Izzy, I think they're going to fight again. So I think that's a little bit out of the realm currently, but you never know, right? There's a lot of choices at middleweight. There's a lot of things going on. Roman Dolidze, Paulo Costa, Imavov, Kaio. You got so much shit going on. Robert Whittaker. There's so much that you can do right now in the middleweight division. Jared Cannonier. He's almost at his picking. And with where he's at with 3 fights, 3 finishes, his history as a former champion, double champion in another organization, I'm really, this is exciting to see the rise of RDR right now. Now we're about to see maybe the possible rise of a new star in the sport, at least in the promotion, right? Because he's been around the sport. So big victory for RDR. And Bo Nickal, I don't, hype train. No, come on. He took an L against a solid opponent. Now let's see how he bounces back. Because this is a guy who hasn't dealt with a crazy amount of adversity through his life. He's been top dog probably mostly everywhere he's been. So now let's see how he battles with some adversity and if he comes back at all. But guys, that's going to do it for today. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. Bo Nickal, RDR, what's next for these guys? Love to hear your guys' thoughts. But that's going to do it for today, guys. Mr. Mustache, MMA News out. Let's fucking go, fight fans.